for Jay-Z's early albums. Okay, now this isn't like new. This was going on a lot. They were faking sales to make the first week numbers look really good, and they'd benefit in different ways from this. Bonuses, it would bring a lot of attention to the album itself, and it makes their company look good. Make sure you guys go check out DaForce from Unknown Source Music. He's a rapper / producer, painting his own canvas, the good, the bad, and the ugly. His Instagram, YouTube, everything is okay, but they benefit also. It goes up the charts. Radio play gets boosted up, sales, because a lot of radio play goes based on like how hot the record is, right? So like, if it's doing a lot of sales, they might jump on it. And I don't know, man, like there was a big lawsuit about this. Let's sum it all up. So a lawsuit alleged that Def Jam, it was cheating album sales and SoundScans back in 2004 through 2007. And like a lot of people, I've heard people talk about this, okay? And this was definitely a fact. This was happening around that time. The LA Times published an article in 2004 talking about this lawsuit. Former record executives accused major labels of using her as a frontman for Geico, a company hired by Def Jam, Geico, and to artificially inflate the sales that affect the pop charts. And they alleged that to do so, they would induce merchants to repeatedly swipe the CDs across scanning machines that are tools used by Nielsen SoundScan. I think Koch used this too. Like those first week numbers mean a lot to companies, and the company responsible for reporting the sales figures, which is Nielsen SoundScan. The compliant named Universal, Def Jam, Geico president Joe Geico, and Def Jam executives such as Kevin Liles, meaning SB. That was a pretty hefty claim to put before the world, much less a judge. In 2007, the suit was settled. Literally, both parties came to an agreement, and the case was tossed out of court. According to Vibe magazine, the accuser claims that she would not discuss, publish, or disseminate to any party claims allegations, because she probably signed a non-disclosure agreement in their agreement. They don't want this to come to light. I don't think they do this anymore, but they were definitely doing it back then. I point out the peculiarity of the case and how under wraps it was from 2004 to this day. We are talking about a number of labels for hip hop. This is the same label that Jay-Z was the president of multi-millions of dollars would stand to be lost if this was true. Because like, I don't know, like a lot of things happen because of sales, so this is just a scheme that goes on with labels. They don't play fair, okay? They buy slots on MTV. I mean, that's a fact. I talked to MTV about that before. People, they actually, MTV pays them for slots, but they pay for certain slots, like with new artists and stuff. It's just like a lot of shady business that goes on behind the scenes, to make things move. Not everything is organic. There were some examples in the post. It said, one example, sales inflation. An indie retailer in the Southeast recently reported to SoundScan, Nielsen, that it had sold roughly 3,000% more copies of Jay-Z's new album, Blueprint 2, an Island Def Jam release. And it actually did, according to the sources, both at the retail level and close to Universal. The scheme was verified by another indie retailer in the Southeast, which typically reports to Nielsen SoundScan to triple the amount actually sold. For example, the store sold roughly 50 copies of Jay-Z's album recently, but scanned 150 for Nielsen SoundScan. Another way this was uncovered is that they would scan more albums that they were even shipped. How is that possible? How are you selling more albums that you were actually shipped? So, I don't know. This is just shady business. I mean, it doesn't really take anything away from Jay-Z's legacy, but it's just like, once you start seeing things like this in the music industry, it's like, oh, this shit is all fake. But it's a little disappointing for a lot of people. I already knew about it. A lot of people inside know about it. Just, people that are inside, if you work in the music industry to any capacity, I was doing music videos back then, and a lot of labels were hiring me for this and that. I actually had a label on Caroline, which was distributed through Sony, with Infamous Mob. I distributed it in 04, right when I was in college, beginning of college. And I did business with Koch, and it was a fact that this was happening. The guy admitted it to me. So, they do some shady business. But anyways, it's not such a big deal. It's just, a lot of people are shocked by this kind of stuff, especially with an artist the caliber of Jay-Z. But, they were just playing the game. Make sure you guys go check out DaForce from Unknown Source Music. He's a rapper / producer, painting his own canvas, the good, the bad, and the ugly. His Instagram, YouTube, everything is below.
Music on pop, the bar's getting raw, and we ain't gonna stop till 3 hits clock.